Hey adrenaline junkies, welcome to Crime Scene Secrets. Get ready for heart-pounding chases, intense police moments, and real incidents you won't believe were caught on camera. On January 25, 2024, Florida's Turnpike, troopers tried pulling over a Silverado to investigate Vincent Fernandez Barbosa for drugs. Instead, Barbosa and his passengers, Julian Montz and Tremaine Reed, hit the gas, sparking a high-speed pursuit. As they fled, the trio tossed out a bag stuffed with cocaine and 3 firearms. At high speed, troopers executed a pit maneuver on the Silverado. The impact was so intense that one patrol car lost control and collided with another vehicle. Moments later, a second pit sent the truck crashing into a wall. The suspects were arrested and taken to Fort Lauderdale's main jail with no bond. Barbosa was already on probation, Montes carried prior violent charges, and Reed was an 8-time felon. Now, with armed cocaine trafficking and weapons charges added, the trio could be facing decades behind bars. Sarah E. Bates stole a vehicle from a Walmart parking lot in Pocahontas. Security footage helped police quickly identify her, and she was believed to be under the influence. An off-duty officer spotted the stolen car near a liquor store on Highway 63. When a trooper pulled Bates over moments later, she hit the gas, blowing through a red light and hitting 115 miles per hour in a 60 zone.
Run the red light here, one is taking off. It's 1037 northbound on 63. 810, Delta 64 is correct. 4 to red. Stop the car.
31 Johnson, Preston, 14-4. 10-4. Bridge. Okay, I'm leaving off this I'm trying to keep that video right here. They may.
Jonesboro, we're continuing northbound on 63 past 67.
Northbound past 67. What's your speed and traffic?
Sarah, pull the car over. Stop the car, Sarah. Sarah, just stop the car. Pull over so you don't get hurt, Sarah. Just stop the car.
The trooper performed a pit, sending the stolen car into a ditch. Bates tried to drive out, but the trooper blocked her in with his push bumper, ending the chase. She showed signs of drug impairment and now faces charges including vehicle theft, fleeing, DWI, second, reckless driving, and more. She's looking at serious jail time. On October 20th, 2022, U.S. Marshals requested help from Georgia State Troopers to capture Irvin M. Robertson, a 36-year-old murder suspect out of Indiana, driving a 2022 Dodge Ram. Troopers tried to stop Robertson near Georgia 20 and Stanley Street. As soon as the lights went on, he took off.
Got to get them stopped. One out here.
Robertson drove recklessly, swerving through medians and into oncoming traffic multiple times, putting countless drivers at serious risk.
What's your update? What's your location?
Just a second, I haven't gone to another street yet. I'm trying today. Get around all these traffic. You're still on the wrong side of the road. Possible 1050 right here, maybe. Victoria Drive. You're still on the wrong side of the road. Victoria Drive. Coming out to Holly Court. Holly Court. Motorcycle. Samples Road, crossing across Samples Road. 1050 Samples.
After crash, Robertson took off on foot toward a Walgreens parking lot, but troopers chased him down. Surrounded and unarmed, he surrendered without a fight and was taken into custody. Irvin Robertson was wanted for murder out of Indiana. After adding felony fleeing, reckless driving, and endangering the public in Georgia, he now faces charges that could put him behind bars for life in prison. On the morning of March 6, 2024, police in Trotwood, Ohio got a disturbing call. 35-year-old James Michael Skirvin had just slammed his white Ford pickup into a bench where his own daughter sat. As medics rushed to help her, Skirvin sped past, waving a long gun at officers and daring them to chase.
What you said is a white Ford Dual extended cab.
The chase exploded onto US 35. Skirvin floored it to 75 miles an hour, swerving into oncoming traffic, even driving the wrong way. Officers laid down stop sticks, but he pushed through, firing shots from the truck as he fled. At Liscombe Drive, Skirvin's truck tore across lanes, slammed into a sheriff's cruiser, and landed on top of a Trotwood police car. Gunfire erupted as officers opened fire. Skirvin was hit in the leg, arm, and chest. A Trotwood officer was seriously injured, and his daughter, already struck earlier, was treated and released. Later, in both the report and in court, Skirvin claimed he lost control. But honestly, I don't believe that for a minute. It looked deliberate. On July 3, 2024 in Georgia, a blue motorcycle flew north on State Route 23 at 71 miles per hour in a 55 zone. A trooper tried to pull him over, but the rider cracked the throttle and took off. You can outrun a patrol car on a bike, but you can't outrun death.
White male, blue motorcycle, black shirt. We're coming in the city limits now. I keep you updated. He ain't getting too far. Alright, coming up on 520. He's about to run the red light. Just ran the red light. Clear, clear. Coming up on Brantley Street. Alright, he just laid it down. 1050. He just got ejected. 1050. 1050. Go ahead and get EMS to me. Oh, Waycross, he's gonna be decapitated. His head is decapitated. Go ahead, send me everybody you got.
Trying to overtake a Ford F-150, his helmet clipped the truck's mirror, sending him out of control. He shot off the shoulder, hit a ditch drain, launched into the air, and slammed into a tree. He was thrown across Burton Street into a barrier and decapitated on impact.
Oh, man.
First responders arrived to a horrific scene, his body and head separated. The rider was identified as Mark Edward Johns. The specialized collision reconstruction team took over the investigation. On September 15, 2025, on Interstate 630 in Little Rock, a trooper clocked a white Infiniti at 80 miles per hour in a 55 and started a stop on Interstate 430. The driver waited until the trooper reached the passenger side, then took off. And there was no gun, no warrants, no drugs. This could have been nothing more than a speeding ticket. Instead, he gambled with two small kids in the car and everyone sharing that highway. The Infiniti was pushed to around 135 miles per hour, carving through traffic, passing on the shoulder, and even shutting the headlights off. Inside were a 4-year-old and an infant locked into a decision they didn't make. Behind him was an angry ASP trooper who had no idea kids were inside and was lining up to end it, the only way these chases usually end. ASP ended it with a hard pit. The Infiniti snapped sideways, rolled onto its driver's side, and hammered into a tree. The wreck was so hard it took minutes to get the kids out.
Shut your mouth and do what I'm telling you to do. Give me your kid, or I'm gonna rip you out of this car.
I hear you, Mom.
Give me the kid then. No! Give me the kid now!
The 4-year-old was pulled free, but the driver refused at first to hand over the infant, forcing repeated commands before the baby was finally passed out to responders. Both children were treated by EMS and survived. Willie Wright Jr. was booked for felony fleeing and child endangerment, and a Crimes Against Children report was filed. On March 8, 2024, a federal fugitive turned West Memphis into chaos. This wasn't a simple run. He rammed police cars, tried to shove officers off the road, smashed into another vehicle, and even made a desperate wrong-way attempt on Interstate 55. By the time Arkansas State Police got involved, it was already clear. This guy wasn't stopping for anyone. Trooper Darren Evans stepped in and ended it the Arkansas State Police way, a hard pit at around 110 miles per hour. The vehicle flew off the roadway, flipped multiple times, and both occupants were ejected into the ditch. Somehow they survived, but the chase was finished. The driver, Oscar Block, now faces felony fleeing, reckless driving, speeding, no seatbelt, no insurance, and driving on a suspended license. Charges that could realistically add up to 8 to 15 years behind bars. On February 17, 2017, on Interstate 40 near Geary, Oklahoma, a driver flagged down an agent, reporting that someone in a white car had just opened fire and shattered their window. Minutes later, troopers and agents spotted the suspect vehicle, driven by 40-year-old John Douglas Hayes, and the pursuit was on.
Looks like we have another unit from, I don't know, maybe Union City with us now. We're still southbound.
Copy. Another unit with you and south on 81. Do you have a description of the vehicle and possibly the attack?
Hayes pushed the car eastbound on I-40 for nearly 10 minutes, refusing to stop. Troopers knew they weren't dealing with a traffic stop. They were chasing an armed and dangerous suspect.
Okay, I think that's going to be Mustang PD. Okay, he's picking up the speed quite a bit. He's going into oncoming. Okay, we have a crash. Vehicle stopped. Stand by. Start EMS.
Hayes crossed the center line and slammed head-on into a semi-truck. The impact was devastating. Hayes died at the scene, and the truck driver was hospitalized and later released. A shotgun and spent shells were found inside the car, linking him to multiple shootings reported earlier that morning. On May 28, 2021, a Georgia trooper stopped a gray Altima after clocking it at over 100 miles per hour. At the window, Antoine Barnes tried to play it cool, giving a fake name and fake birthday. But the moment the trooper continued talking, Barnes smashed the gas and launched a chase, with an infant strapped in the back seat and the child's mother sitting passenger. Barnes pushed that Altima to 110 miles per hour, blowing through traffic, crossing lanes, even sliding into oncoming lanes. It got so reckless that troopers lined up for a GSP-style pit, still unaware a baby's life was riding in that back seat.
Don't go. Landing traffic.
With a clear stretch ahead, the trooper lined up and hit a high-speed pit that sent the Altima spinning across the median and into the trees. Miraculously, the child survived. The driver, Antoine Barnes, jumped out and ran, but troopers found him fast. He had a suspended license and multiple warrants for robbery and theft, charges that could land him 5 to 10 years behind bars. The mother stayed in the car with the infant until help arrived. On November 27, 2025, just before 3 a.m., a white Dodge Ram with a fake license plate sparked a pursuit in Faulkner County, Arkansas. What started with Conway PD quickly escalated, and when Arkansas state troopers close in, you already know how it ends. The chase dragged on for over 30 minutes, with the truck blasting past 80 miles per hour, crossing lanes, and driving recklessly on narrow back roads. The driver showed no signs of stopping, pushing the risk higher with every mile. As ASP Sergeant Nathan Williams moved in, the driver slammed the brakes. The intervention sent the truck off the road into a row of trees where it caught fire and became fully engulfed. The driver, Jeffrey McFarland, was pulled out just in time and taken to the hospital. He now faces felony fleeing and multiple charges. On June 4, 2025, Arkansas State Police spotted a gray Nissan Maxima in Little Rock with a paper tag hidden behind a tinted cover. The stop should have been easy, but the driver panicked. Lights came on, and he took off, ripping past 100 miles per hour, blowing red lights, and even driving the wrong way through city streets.
Passing Lancaster. He's 100. Light traffic.
Passing Lancaster.
Looks like coming to Bear Springs.
Heading up on Bear Springs.
Alright, turning left on the Bear Springs. Going southbound. Continuing south, speed 100, and turn right on the Forbing.
Right up over there.
Going up to the university. If you haven't already, start lower on 80. That's speed's 8. Let me just turn on the Chico.
Turn up Chico.
TBI. I think he's about to get onto 30 East.
The pit was so hard it launched the Maxima off the roadway and down the embankment. Officers needed a few minutes just to locate the wrecked car. When they did, it was a rolling felony vault.
Get the fuck on the ground now! Get on the ground! I will shoot you if you reach for anything. Do you understand me? Get on the fucking ground! On your face! On your face! Now crawl towards me! Crawl! Start crawl! Crawl! Keep crawling! Just like the baby you are!
A stolen car, meth, scales, ammo, bolt cutters, and an AR-style weapon converted to full auto. Stack felony fleeing, drug trafficking, and machine gun charges together, and Holmes is realistically looking at 25 to 40 years behind bars.